Coming up next on the Bell Howard Show, the elections are over, or are they? We talked to a man in Pennsylvania that says secret Democrat voters are being bussed in from other countries. I'm also going to answer your emails, and my wife is not answering her phone. So, honey, if you're listening, let me know which cottage cheese you want me to pick up on the way home. I know you said last time the purple container has more calories, so just let me know if you want me to look for something else.
Welcome to Freedom Island. You're listening to the Bell Howard Show. And now, here's your host, Bell Howard.
Well, folks, it's official. Biden and Harris, technocrats in chief. Technocrats in chiefs. Chief or chiefs? I don't know if you put chiefs in plural, but they're two of them, so I guess they're chiefs. What a strange, not a really a strange election process. We knew Trump was going to pull some shenanigans and try to get out of it. He doesn't want to lose. He can't lose. He has to win. But here's the thing. I was thinking about, he was playing defense this time. He was on offense 4 years ago with Clinton, against Clinton, and it was fun. Offense is fun, and I think that's why it's going to be great for conservative radio guys and libertarian guys, is that now you're playing offense again. I mean, I remember the best days of my life back in the 90s. Clinton was in office, and we were just on the attack, and it was party time. I mean, every day. God, we had a blast. We were on offense. So Biden and Harris are in, and we can go on the attack. It's not fun playing defense. Some guys can do it. I can't. So when Obama got in, when Bush got into office, I just stopped playing because it wasn't as fun. I had to rethink it, and so now you're playing offense, and you don't have to defend Trump, which is good. You can relax a little bit, because playing defense for that guy was tough, to say the least. We in the conservative and alternative conservative media are back on offense. It's great. And now the liberal media, they're on defense. So it's our turn to make up stuff or accuse the president of, colluding with the Chinese or something. And, you guys got to deal with it now. So that's going to be fun. Lots of people are speculating, what is Trump going to do? And so I went on the blogosphere, the blogs. And by the way, I think, real news now these days comes from blogs. That's just how it works. So we went over to a blog. It's called, what's it called? So this blog is called InfoSlop. InfoSlop says it speculates the president is considering a new reality show. It says here it's called The Intern. It's just The Apprentice, and it takes place in an Oval Office, not the Oval Office, but a set or something, some kind of mock-up. So the Intern. So look for that. Supposedly they're interning for the president. Again, Trump. And this is what he's good at. He's good at entertainment. I mean, he's a showman. He has a skill set for an entertainer, not a politician. But there you go. Here's another one, a blog. This one comes from Buzzkill Overdrive. These are the strangest names. I mean, you remember the old days, they're just letters, NBC, MS. Now it's just kind of these nicknames for Mad Max sequels. Okay, so this one says, Trump is planning a new reality show, again, another reality show called Barricade. And it's him in barricading himself in the Oval Office, the real Oval Office, until special forces get him out of there. Also, here's another one from Secret Sleepover. Secret Sleepover says, I never thought I'd feel this way about my cousin, but one night, wait a minute, this is just an ad. Okay, yeah, don't, Wes, that's just an ad for another website, and I'm afraid to click on it. All right. Well, do some due diligence, Wes. So basically, reality shows are in Trump's future. I guess we have that much to look forward to. And I mean, he's good at it. So let the guy do what he's good at. And you know what? I think once he gets into his groove and he gets back into his lane, quote unquote, then the liberal media will be fawning over him again and saying, "Oh, let bygones be bygones," and we're cool, and as long as you stay on the magic box, stay inside the magic box, then we're cool, and everything's going to be fine. But Trump's not going down without a fight. He refuses to concede, and in this time of fake news, I mean, this era of illusion and everything's fake and everything, nothing's. You can't trust any official source. I mean, this just continues his theme that he propagated from the beginning. There's lots of stories now saying, and his supporters are rallying around him, of course. Trump Nation is alive and well. And even those around him, I think some people around him are, they're saying, listen, I think we lost. Maybe his son or his wife are just saying, you know what, this was fun, but why don't we go back to just being rich? I mean, that's what I would do. I would say, look, we got a couple of Supreme Court judges in there, and the Senate, and Biden has inherited the biggest mess of all, the pandemic. So why don't we just go back to playing golf and eating cheeseburgers? And by the way, can you imagine? I mean, in these final 2 months of the Trump presidency, there's going to be a lot of cheeseburgers, I think, at the press conference. While he's speaking to the press and to the members of the media, I think that you're going to see a lot of barbecue sauce. There's going to be a lot of dipping and barbecue sauce and maybe even some spicy mustard. I don't know his preference there, but if you're in this business, the drama is never over, and there is a certain push to push this narrative that the Democrats cheated, and I'm feeling that push too. But I really don't want to get into it. I want to move on. I want to live my life, and I don't want to continue to go back and look at this subject and speculate and so forth, unless there's hard evidence, unless there's really compelling evidence that some cheating took place and the Democrats used some sort of underhanded trickery to pull this off. And there are people out there that say they have that evidence. So actually, my guest today does. And we'll be talking to him later about secret underground ceremonies that took place in Pennsylvania, where thousands of illegal immigrants were given citizenship the day before Election Day, and some on the day of Election Day, and they were literally underground. And then they just they opened the doors, and then they came out, and they went straight to the voting polls and voted. So my guest today says he has the scoop on that. So stay tuned to the Bell Howard Show. We'll be right back. I usually do ad reads at this point, but right now, folks, I'm going to hawk some of the stuff that's sitting around in my garage. That's right. If you go over to my eBay store, I've got some interesting things. First on the list, it's a 25 VHS tape set of a Navy SEAL workout regiment, and it's the real thing. I did it once, and I couldn't hack it. It was made by a real Navy SEAL BUDS instructor, and you got to do sit-ups. The first tape you're doing sit-ups for 30 minutes at least, and then it just goes on from there. And pretty soon you're doing sit-ups every hour. You're doing 100 sit-ups, and by the time you finish that, I mean, you can wash a gingham skirt on your stomach. Your abs will be so rock hard. And so if you have a real desire to get in shape and you have a VHS player, then by all means go over there and check out that 24 set. It's called the Navy SEAL Hell Week workout routine. Then I also have a saddle for a jet ski. I used to jet ski a lot, and I sold the jet ski, but then I found the saddle the other day in a box. The saddle, basically, it's waterproof, of course, and it has some cup holders on the side, and it kind of looks like a horse saddle. So it's kind of funny to see a man jet skiing on a horse saddle with a holder on the side for his 32-ounce Big Gulp. Finally, I have a little ceramic dog. It's a cute little bulldog, and actually there's a hole in the mouth. And what is the hole for? It's for your cigarette. That's right, it's a cigarette holder. It's a little ceramic bulldog cigarette holder, but buyer beware, it is missing an ear. So that's a little ceramic bulldog missing one ear, but it's nice if you're a smoker, or if you know a smoker. So, he or she can sit on the couch with that cigarette stuck in the bulldog's mouth while you're doing the Navy SEAL workout routine. So there you have it, folks. Go to eBay, go to my eBay store, check out that stuff, and I'm just looking to get rid of it. But I think there's someone out there who might enjoy it. So go check it out. Well, folks, it's time to check your emails. It's time to see what's on your mind and what you're thinking about. I'm sure it has something to do with the election results. And let's jump right into it. Here is let's dive into the email bag. This first email comes from Captain Magic Sauce 59, who says, Bell, I'm looking to get my own micronation. I always get emails about this, folks. Lately, it's all about micronations. Micronations are sweeping the nation. Everybody wants one. Anyway, Captain Magic Sauce 59 says, I'm looking to get my own micronation. Do you have any advice? Well, of course I have some advice. I encourage people to do this. I encourage people to secede from their country, their government, and, do their own thing. So, start their own party, whatever. Captain Magic Sauce 59, what I advise you to do is first get a boat, because you don't want to be landlocked. You don't want to be tied to the land. So I don't know where you live. If you live on the coast, all the better. Get to the water and start going out to sea. And eventually you'll be in international waters. Now you can make sure you bring, supplies and so forth. And in fact, don't go out there unless you have supplies and a very good radio to contact someone for help if you need it. But you got to think this through. Now, if you want to stay on land, if you get seasick, for instance, and you don't want to be out there on a boat for the rest of your life, then find places. The United States, it's tricky. There aren't many places you can claim as a micronation. So what you have to do is, I would go to Europe. I mean, it seems like it's over there. I know a guy I interviewed on the show, Mikhail Petrovidididic, a singer from Croatia, and he found an abandoned bus station, and he claimed that as a micronation. So it is possible. And I think over there, they're more sort of, libertarian. So I would recommend Going over there, see what's going on, talk to people that have done it over there. They can probably give you some advice. I found an oil rig. I was lucky. Oil rigs are great. You need a boat, of course. You need to get out to the oil rig. You need to set up a supply chain so you can get your stuff out. Every day we're running low on tortilla chips, and I just look at that bag and I'm like, wow. Thank God for the post office. Until I set up my own, my country has its own postal system. You got to rely on some government assistance. That's just the reality. Let's go to another email here. Here is Unicorn Pajama Party 73 writes, will Biden make it through the first term? He's getting old, and by the time he finishes, he will be 81. What do you think his chances are of leaving his office alive? Well, that's a little too harsh there on the guy. I'm sure he'll make it through. But yeah, that is a question. Everyone's very worried about that. Unicorn Pajama Party 73. So I don't think he will make it through with 100% of his faculties. That's just the reality of the job. When you get in there as president, you are stressed out. It's a stressful job. And when you leave, you look very different. You sound very different. You think different because you've seen some crazy stuff. Think about it. You're constantly talking to people in meetings, being rushed to different locations, and now in this situation where there's a virus around, things get dicey. One day they might shuttle you in the middle of the night to Area 51 and say, look, something else landed in the night, and we've never seen this life form before. What should we do, Mr. President? No, but nothing can prepare you for that job. An education at Yale or Harvard or wherever you go, nothing can prepare you for being shuttled in the dead of night to Area 51 to see alien life forms. Presumably it's your first time, but I think that's why many people run for president, because of that perk. You will get to see some crazy stuff. So if he isn't, if his mind hasn't melted out of and dripped out of his ear holes before that, it will after that, and he'll basically be a walking corpse with dead eyes, and they'll have to pump him full of steroids like they did Trump in the hospital. So, all right, folks. Well, coming up next, we've got a really interesting guest, and it's going to get controversial, I know, and I'm going to get a lot of flack for it. But Simon Spatz is on the show. He's going to be talking about secret Democrat voters. This is going to get strange, folks. So stay tuned, and we'll talk to Spatz in a bit. Okay, on the phone now is Simon Spatz. He's a security consultant and blogger. He writes for Love Stars, a horoscope blog about romance, but he also writes for, and this pertains to our conversation today, Iron Patriot Times. Simon Spatz, welcome to the Bell Howard Show.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, you've just written on your blog that the Democrats are up to some shenanigans.
Again.
But you have firsthand knowledge of this, right?
Yes, I saw it with my own eyes right here in my home state of Pennsylvania.
Where are you now, Harrisburg?
No, I'm in Bucks.
Bucks County. Good pancakes.
No, that's Berks.
Berks
is next to Bucks, and they've won Best Philly Pancakes for the past 5 years. And I must concede, they do make a mean flapjack.
So walk us through this, and we have to tread lightly here. While I do believe in your firsthand reporting, I think most people who have been conditioned by the liberal media will find this story incredible. So you say they bust in illegal immigrants. Let's start with the busing here.
Lots of busing, yeah.
Where are these immigrants coming from? I mean, Mexico, I presume.
No, Canada.
Canada?
Yeah, they don't want people to be suspicious. So white Canadians are bussed in, and they are.
How come no one sees these buses of Canadians?
They look like tourists, Bell.
But thousands of them at a time?
Well, I mean, shop owners and restaurants aren't complaining, and police were specifically told to stand down and let this invasion happen. I have the documents on my blog.
And we'll provide a link in the show notes. Simon, this is disturbing. You know, the line in conservative media has always been watch out for our neighbors to the south. Those are the guys you got to watch out for. And then here comes Canada. I mean, we're surrounded by other countries, and we're being attacked on all sides.
This is why America really has to wake up and smell the propane. This is how the technocracy functions. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all subterfuge. They get you looking one way, and then they do a sneak attack.
I'm sorry, a pizza snack?
No, a sneak attack.
Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't had lunch yet.
So...
All right, so the buses get here. These Canadians get off. They stretch their legs.
They have a little bit of a potty break, and they go to these underground basements.
Basements are usually underground, right?
Usually, but here's the thing. This was an underground network of cafeterias built during the Cold War for a secret government program called Operation Food Fight. The idea was, in case of a nuclear war, a select few, mainly government workers and their families, would have a place to eat lunch. But there are so many of these things, you have no idea.
And now only Canadians know about them. Talk about a security leak. Everyone can know our secrets except the American people.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I have my blogs.
So Operation Mashed Potatoes, was it?
No, Operation Food Fight. They do a massive initiation ritual. All these Canadians, mostly from Winnipeg and Saskatchewan, don't ask me how to spell that one. They are now all citizens, and they are all 33-degree Scottish Rite Freemasons now.
Jiminy crickets. So they have Scottish citizenship too? What the flip is going on in my country? The country that gave me life, liberty, and a job in AM radio, the best days of my life, is being drawn and quartered and sold to the highest bidder.
This is happening. This is real. And I saw the buses.
All right. Let's cool our jets here. So tell us what you saw specifically.
Okay, so I saw the Canadians get off the bus. They stretched their legs, and then they all proceeded to enter an IHOP.
So you saw thousands of Canadians enter an IHOP?
I just saw two buses, Bell, and they entered the restaurant, and they came out after about 2 hours, I think, which is plenty of time to become a U.S. citizen.
But that's IHOP. What about the underground cafeterias?
Bell, you obviously haven't been following my blog. My
wife follows your love horoscope blog religiously. She always tells me how this planet is in this house, and apparently Saturn is rising, and that means I have to sleep on the couch most nights.
So back to my story. IHOP is owned and run by secret societies. It's a brotherhood called the Order of the Egg. They keep really interesting secrets, like which came first, the chicken or the egg. They're not telling. It's very mystical.
I mean, I imagine if you knew the answer to that one, you would go insane.
It takes a really high-level egghead to understand it. But also, they invented blueberry syrup. Blueberry syrup, I mean, they're the guys. So...
Well, they don't sound all bad.
So during Operation Food Fight, when the government needed underground cafeterias stat, they contracted IHOP. So now, throughout our country and parts of Germany, these underground bases are only accessible through IHOP restaurants.
Isn't that something? So you followed them inside?
Yeah, yes, and I didn't see them. I mean, you would think that a busload of people would be visible immediately, but no. They vanished. CIA was already there before I entered to escort the Canadians to the underground entrance.
Now, I hate to say this, but this reminds me of that pizza story where they thought a pizza restaurant was trafficking abducted children. Do you remember that one?
Well, sadly, that's what the American restaurant industry is for. I mean, I can go into this in detail some other time, but basically, every major chain restaurant in America conceals a basement purposed for unspeakable things.
Well, I'll definitely have you back on to talk about that. So, they emerge. Didn't you see them come out of the restaurant?
Okay, here's where I sort of fell asleep at the wheel. While I was waiting for them to come out, I dozed off in my car, and when I woke up, no buses. But I knew where they were headed, so I went to the polls, and sure enough, there were the buses.
So, buses show up to the polls throughout Pennsylvania, and no one reports on this.
No, typically the mass media,
the liberal technocratic media, and they're silent, right? Not a peep.
Nary a titter.
Twitter?
Not a titter.
I'm on Twitter, by the way.
I follow you. You should follow me.
Well, I mean, then what do you think about Donald Trump? He's saying recount, but really, he should be focusing on Canada and the deep state's involvement in trafficking Canadians.
Exactly. I don't know why he's not looking north. You know, he was the first president to call out the deep state and say to the deep state, hey, I'm watching you, buddy. But now he seems strangely unfocused and prone to wild conspiracy theories like vote counting software somehow malfunctioning. I mean, we're grasping at straws here.
Ever since he got COVID, he's been a little different, a little off. I think he knows it's over, and definitely he just wants to get back to being a rich guy. Just a rich guy. Pretty good. Must be nice.
Yeah, he should. I mean, there are independent news networks and podcasts in that man's future. Nothing but roses.
Well, Simon, thank you so much for your hard-hitting journalism. And I don't use this word lightly, patriotism. Folks, look up Simon Spatz on his blog, Iron Patriot Times. And for love advice, he always writes a horoscope column for lovers called Love Stars. Simon Spatz, thanks so much.
My pleasure, Bill. If I may, can I also plug my line of blueberry syrup? It's called Spatz's Syrup. It's made with real blueberry extract.
Great. You know, I can just drink that stuff. It's so delicious.
I have a cup every night before I go to bed.
All right, Simon. Thanks so much.
Bye, Bill.
Well, folks, that was our show today. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, like and subscribe on YouTube and follow me on Twitter. Twitter's lots of fun. I'm having more fun than I thought I would. And you know, do that, whatever you do. Follow and like and retweet and all that stuff. So, folks, I will talk to you next time. Remember, stay safe, stay sane, and stay free. Bye now.